Yo, we're Urban Heat.
And you're watching
musicfiends.com.
Hello everyone, Angela Alameda here with musicfiends.com. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Urban Heat from Austin, Texas. And tonight they are playing at Dark Ceremony Fest in Houston at the White Oak Music Hall. You guys just played at Dark Ceremony. How do you feel the show went?
It felt good. Felt really good.
Good.
Yeah, I felt a little rusty because we haven't played in a while, but it was a lot of fun, for sure.
Yeah, Houston always brings it, so it was good. A good show, for sure.
I wanted to ask you, Jonathan, what happened to the mustache? That's kind of been like your staple, and now it's just gone. Like, is it going to make a comeback?
I mean, to be real, I guess No, I was going to say No, I was going to say something about having this trepidation about turning 40, you know? And like wanting to I don't know, I just want to see my face, you know? And just be like, okay, this is where I'm at.
Some years.
You know?
All right.
Remember that time in Atlanta when you went to that dude and he hooked you up?
That wasn't Atlanta, that was the Charleston.
That was
Charleston.
Right, it was South Carolina.
Yeah.
That dude hooked you up, man.
Yeah, I asked for a very simple trim. And I came out with like a Doc Facilier, like thin mustache from Princess and the Frog.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And like the whole,
Lined you up.
he lined me up, yeah, which I don't normally do.
Nice. I wanted to talk about your new album that's coming out. August 16th is set to release. Can you tell me how this new album is going to be different from your last album?
I feel like this record, like The Tower is the name of it. I feel like it's like pushing, like if say Wellness was inspired by a lot of 80s sounds, because that's one thing a lot of people don't realize. Like the sound wasn't necessarily from particular bands. It came from the equipment we were using, like a lot of like Lindrum stuff, a lot of like analog synths and things like that. But this album takes a little more of a digital, like it almost feels like late 80s, early 90s inspired type stuff to like early 2000s type of more rock stuff in those regards, more industrial in some of the other things. So it's a nice like blend of those things, I feel. I feel like that's what makes it different from the Wellness stuff.
It's like learning to crawl before you can walk. Like Wellness was learning to crawl, and The Tower is this band walking, going places. Like, okay, like we exist, you know? Okay, what is this place? What is this landscape? And like, what are these toys? And how do we use it now to like really to tell us, you know, it's all storytelling.
Do you feel like it's going to be like a little bit more refined, more polished?
Yeah. I think on the surface, I think beneath the surface, there's a lot of rawness.
And the last couple singles that you have released, Seven Safe Spaces and Say the Words, they're very like deep emotional tracks, I feel like. I want to talk about Seven Safe Spaces specifically because you mentioned that song is about like a sci-fi story with this couple that's running away from their disapproving families. Like where did that idea like for that story come from?
I don't know. I feel like all of our original thoughts are really just the sum of everything that we've absorbed and thrown in a blender, and then you pour the spigot and that comes out. Initially, the song was supposed to be called 9 Safe Places, which was a pamphlet that Jim Jones read about 9 safe places to hide from the nuclear apocalypse. And I thought that would be a really fantastic song title. And I had a tune and I was like, oh, I think this is it. This is 7 Safe Places. And I just forgot that the number wasn't 7. I forgot the number was 9. And then at that point, I was just like, well, man, this chorus has gotta, like, this slaps. This has to stay. I'm like, what is this to fucking, like, what's it about? And I was like, I know what it's about. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. The story just kind of made sense. You know, I haven't figured out what all the 7 safe places are. I only know one of them as far as in that story.
Oh, really?
I still don't know.
I wanted to know, like, aside from playing music and being a musician, what is your favorite like form of art? Do you guys specifically like do anything else creatively outside of music?
Yeah, we all have. I mean, me particularly, I started like doing visual art at like 5 years old. I was put in these, what they call back then, talented art classes. And so I had like one mentor like from kindergarten to 12th grade. And like I was doing like gallery showings at like, I don't know, 9, 10 years old. So like visual art was definitely the first thing I fell in love with, you know. But then I think music, as I became like teenager, like took over that part of it because it was much cooler to like do music than to like just paint and stuff. As I get older, I realize being a painter is way cooler than being a fucking musician. But yeah, so like that's probably my favorite. With art, we're always trying to achieve the thing that is like not humanly possible, like living forever or like taking us freezing time. That's what like a painting was. Now a photograph can be like, we can't like physically do those things, but art allows us to like, you know, mimic that like superpower.
It's very true.
That's crazy.
I like that. That's a really good answer.
Follow that. Really. It's like,
You got something.
I don't have anything. For me, I'm not like a visual artist. You know, I see things that I like, paint. I seen some of his paintings. He can draw also. I never really done that, but I used to work at a casting agency. So I used to, you know, I would go in. I have to like audition. I would have to act. I would get in movies. I would do different things like that. Jonathan would come in there and he would like audition and stuff. So I wrote scripts, put together videos. For me, it's like I do a lot of different things. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I just do music and that's it, or like I just do this. It's a whole bunch of different things because I'm always trying to learn something new. And the only way to do that is just to like jump in. Except for the visual, I know I can't draw. Even my signature sucks. But if you were to put like a monetary thing on it, I basically would have like different incomes coming in different aspects, you know, like whether it's like clothing, whether it's music, whether it's, you know, doing installation, doing being in film or doing any of that shit. Yeah, it's like so like that's why it was so hard for me to answer the question at first. So I'm like, shit, that's
really cool though, because I didn't know that.
Question. Yeah, life is like what he was saying. It's like hard. It's like there's a lot of things going on. There's like other aspects to it, to like what you do outside of music, and then coming tonight. Like, I haven't played in a while, so it was really like, we just jumped right back into it, you know what I mean? And it was like, oh shit, like, oh yeah. Because when you're at home, you're doing all these other things we just finished talking about. So it's like...
You gotta put on your musician hat.
Yeah, now you gotta be like, oh yeah, this is what I do. This is what I like love doing too, you know? Like,
you know, that's why we do these interviews, so that we can learn more about who you are behind like just the music. So
and I appreciate, and that's art too, what you're doing, you know?
Thank you. I feel like most people who are creatives do multiple forms of art. And, you know, I think that's something really cool and really special.
Jonathan, like, when you really look at him, though, he can paint, tattoo artist, musician, actor. This dude would be like, I'm going to build, like, a situation for all your gear in one thing. And it's like, you open it, and it's just like this thing, and keyboard's there, and this is there, my pedal.
That's another
Turn it up. This is my guitar. Carpentry. And what's really crazy about that, too, is this is where it all led to. You know what I mean? Now we're all together, like, doing this and, like, putting all our skills, you know, together and making...
And now you can kind of, like, work together on projects and stuff like that. And you also make the fragrances, like you mix the fragrances and stuff that you sell for merch.
That's another thing. He was like, "Yo, I want to make these fragrances," and we like, and he did that shit.
Yeah.
What was one of those harebrained ideas where you're like just chilling, thinking about something? Like, hey man, I want to make these fucking.
That's awesome. It seems like a lot of people love the fragrances, and I think that's really cool because that's not really something that you see a lot of bands sell as merch. So it's like something unique.
Anything that you can do that is outside of the regular merch box, but also like makes sense. If you can make people want something that has your name on it, but also give it value, something of value. So they're getting more than just like a trinket with your name on it. It's like actually, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything you can make that people want to come back to.
One thing that I really love about you guys is that y'all are very supportive of other artists in the scene. So like you're always, sharing, about other bands and doing shout outs and stuff like that. And I think that's something that we should see more of. How important is it to you for artists to be supporting each other and uplifting each other instead of like seeing each other as competitors?
Well, there are friends. For us, they're like for me, they're like some of the only friends I have. It's like these guys and other musicians because like they get it. We all belong to this club that like nobody gets unless you you're in it, and yeah, it's just love. And I just want to see it's, what is it? Rising tide raises all ships.
I think it also like transcends genre. Like, when you're doing a particular type of music like we are at this point, we're all playing the same kind of shows, same, like, for instance, tonight, we know well over half these acts personally. And so it's like, yeah, it's that kind of thing. But coming from backgrounds like we have, it's more of a thing, like he said, the journey of like playing music and stuff, because you could say the same thing about metal artists, hip-hop artists, punk artists, you all kind of like represent each other. So I think with us coming from all these different backgrounds, we've always been that way of like supporting people that are doing something similar or doing something, it might not even sound similar, but it's the same kind of, endeavor and just like representing themselves in that way. So I think like for us, it's just natural. I think we don't like, it's not like we even think about it. It's like, of course I'm gonna, shout out to, our friends on the bill or, whoever's there. And I mean, we just click with a lot of people in that way,
For me, I'm a tribal person. So like, if I see you and we talk and I like you and we're like, we banter back and forth or whatever, I'm always going to like show love to people that are cool and like are doing something like you said with the art. Is like, 'cause we're all the same type of people. So you want everybody to do well, celebrate wins and try to help other people win,
You guys are a band that tours pretty heavily. I'm sure, it can be hard being away from your families, for so long. Jonathan has 2 daughters and you have a son. I'm not sure, Pax, do you have any kids?
I do.
Do you think you would ever like bring your children or your families on tour with you if that was a possibility?
Definitely. My daughter can play drums, so I'm like,
oh, that's so cool.
I just want to not necessarily play drums for us or anything like that, but just like see like the other part of it and just be a part of it. I would definitely do that. I always thought about that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
My son is like in love with this band, and it happened because I was gone, and so his mom would like play him the songs, and now it's pretty bad. I can't get in the car without him asking to play the songs. Yeah, he's starting to like mimic some of your moves too. I saw him rip off his shirt and twirl it around his head, singing "Have You Ever?" Dude, I walked in on him doing it, man.
I'm gullible right now.
You're joking.
I haven't even told you this, but on the "Have You Ever" video, like anytime that and then it comes in because you do that thing with the knocking, the computer or whatever. He does that with shit around the house. And I'm just like, dude, you can't do that. And I know he's going to do it, but I forget. And he does it. Or we listen in the car, and next thing you know, I'm driving, and a fucking shoe comes at me. And I'm just like, damn, I should have known he was going to do something on that part. But he does it every time. on that part when it kicks in.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So I've been following you guys for a couple years now, and you guys have kind of just like skyrocketed. And it's been really amazing to watch and to see your growth. And you just recently mentioned that you got the opportunity to go on tour with Molchat Doma. So I wanted to ask like how you're feeling about that. You kind of talked a little bit about how that came about on Instagram, but tell me more about it.
It's not just any tour, it's a European tour.
Yeah, it's a European tour, yes.
That makes it even crazier.
Have you guys toured in Europe before yet?
No, this band has not been to Europe yet. But this band's going to Europe. We were holding on to this for like 3 months or something. It happened while we were on tour with Twin Tribes. That's when they
sent the
reached out?
message, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In February, maybe.
I feel
or
like when we're
February.
on tour, that's when we always get good news.
Yeah.
Car driving, all of a sudden, Jonathan's like, "Hey, check this out."
I'm so excited for you guys. I saw Motet Doma when they played in Dallas last year, and they were awesome.
It was a
You know,
vibe.
it was just like it was a vibe.
We're gonna sit in that vibe for like 6 weeks as we see so many places we've never seen and get to. It's a whole different thing too. And when you're playing with Twin, like opening for them, there was the percentage of the crowd that knew us at those shows is going to be very different than the percentage of the crowd that knows us at these much larger shows. I'm super interested how we have the new record coming out, so we're gonna have to look at, okay, what songs like do we want to like do for a European crowd? Like how do we represent the new record, the old record? I'm looking forward to creating that set list. I also think that's when we can get heated with each other because we get passionate about like certain songs. Cutting a song from a set is like, I don't know. It's like losing a plant or
You
something.
said a lot right there. That means you're already planning on cutting something that I want to play.
Oh no.
There's a setup.
Your next show coming up is at Obituary Fest in Dallas at Granada Theater, July 6th. So we're super excited about that.
So after Obituary Fest, we go up to Canada for Terminus, and we'll fly to LA to play El Rey Theater. And then the next night is, I think, San Diego. Like that's like, and then the tour like begins. So like we'll fly to LA and the van will be there. Well, the truck will be there, and then
West Coast for about a week and a half, and then start coming over and doing like Salt Lake, Denver, Kansas City.
it's like three or 4 weeks.
Yeah,
And then we'll be
ending in Austin for the album release.
Yep.
So the album comes out on the 16th of August.
I like when that happens.
We play August 17th.
Yeah, that's
in
gonna be a
Austin.
hell of a party.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then we have a little bit of time off, and then we go to the East Coast for 3 or 4 weeks. And then we'll have 3 days off,
4 days off.
and then we'll fly to Glasgow.
Wow.
That's the end of our.
Wow.
That's the end of the year, yeah.
I won't be rusty after that shit.
That's crazy. Well, lots of exciting things coming up this year. We're very excited for you guys. That's all the questions that I have for you today. And yeah, I just want to thank you guys so much for talking with me. Before we sign off, is there like anything else you would like to say?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Speaking of that European tour, we're doing a fundraiser right now to help with some of the upfront costs. And you can go to anywhere where there's Urban Heat Band, I guess urbanheatband.com or like the IG, etc. And check it out. If you're not able comfortably to don't feel bad, just check it out if you're curious. I mean, share it if you can't donate. That whole pitch really started crumbling there at the end. Only because it is weird. It is strange to fucking ask for money.
Well, thank you guys for watching musicfiends.com, and we will see you guys next time.